Welcome to Science Easy Tech channel. In this video, we are going to discuss about motives, which comes under the unit motivation and emotional processes in the subject psychology. So this was my part 3 video. This video will be useful for BSc nursing students, post basic BSc nursing students, as well as students who are studying B.Ed and general psychology. Before moving on to the topic, if you are new to Science Easy Tech channel, just take a moment to subscribe our channel and also to press the notification bell icon in order to get connected with our latest updates. Let's move on to the content what we are going to discuss in this video. The topic is motives. As I have told already, we are going to discuss about the definition of motives, concept of motives and types of various motives. Let's move on to the topic. Motive. A motive etymologically means that which moves. So motives means it moves. So this is the etymological meaning of motive. A motive may be considered as an energetic force or tendency which can be either learned or innate. Innate means inborn. Some people by nature itself they will be very much highly motivated. Some will be motivated by means of learned behavior. So it is an energetic force or tendency. Either it can be learned or it can be innate in nature, working within the individual to compel, persuade or inspire him to act for the satisfaction of his basic needs or attainment of some specific purpose. So either the person can be motivated to satisfy his basic needs, or some will be motivated in order to achieve something, achievement, aspiration, etc. So motives can be seen in the form of various needs, desires and aspirations of an individual. The motive can either be a basic need or some needs. It can be either desires, what the individual wishes to be, and aspirations or aims or achievement of an individual. Let's see the definition of motives. The definition of motives is a need gives rise to one or more motives. First, you will be having a need. So already we have seen needs, drives in our part 1 and part 2 videos. If you have not watched those videos, I have given the link of psychology playlist description in the description box, as well as suggested end card and iCards also. So a need gives rise to one motive, or it can be more than one motive, one or more motives. A motive is rather a specific process which has been learned. So it is directed towards a goal. So a motive is which you have learned and you are moving towards a goal. Okay, in order to achieve a goal, this motive is working in order to achieve a goal. So it is a goal directed behavior. So this definition was given by Carroll in the year 1969. A motive may be defined as a readiness or disposition to respond in some ways and not others to a variety of situation. So for particular things you will be responding in some way, and in one situation, and in other situation you will be responding differently. So a motive may be defined as readiness or disposition to respond in some ways and not others to a variety of situations. So somehow you have to achieve. Suppose if you are feeling thirsty, somehow you have to find out water and you have to drink it. So that thirst need or motive is forcing you to get the desire what you want. So this definition was given by Rosen, Fox and Gregory in the year 1972. Next, we will see the concepts of motivation. Motivation is generated through basic needs or drives. So we have so many basic drives like physiological drives, for example, hunger, thirst, etc. So it compels an individual to respond by creating a kind of tension or urge to act. For example, if we are feeling hungry, so we will be somewhat restless in order to find out food. So once our hunger is satisfied, then we will be relaxed. Otherwise, we will be feeling headache. So we cannot concentrate on anything. Similarly, if we are feeling the urge to urinate, so we cannot concentrate in other things, so we will be rushing to a bathroom in order to eliminate like that. Okay, so it is a goal directed activity pursued till the attainment of the goal. Suppose if you want to achieve a very high good marks first in your class, so you will be working hard in order to achieve the goal, in order to aspire that goal. So attainment of a goal helps in the release of tension aroused by a specific notice. Suppose if you have achieved that thing, then you will be somewhat satisfied, so your tension, your worries, everything will be decreased. Next, a change in goal may bring changes in the nature and strength of the motive. So here, suppose your goal brings changes in the nature and strength of the motive. So motivation is an inner state or an aroused feeling. So innerly you will be feeling, it is an aroused feeling, so to which you will be acting. So we experience motive as feeling of want, need, desire. So want, whether it is a need or whether you want it simply like that, or it is your desire. Okay, so this difference we have to know. So we experience motives either because of these things, either it can be a want, it can be a need, or it can be a desire. So all these are having differences. So want is not the same as that of need and desire. So even in financial goals also they will be telling you should while you are planning for financial planning, you should know what is your want, what is your need, and what is your desire. So you have to know the demarcation for each and everything. So motive may be considered as a learned response or tendency, and also an innate disposition. So I have already told this in the definition itself, either it can be innate or it can be learned behavior. So we cannot see motives directly, but sometimes we can so it is inner feeling, no, so we cannot see it directly, but must infer them from the behavior of the people. So from the behavior of the people we know how much they are motivated in order to achieve success or something else. Okay, so there are so many types of motives. Some of the psychologists have divided motives into two main categories: innate, which is inborn or it is not learned. Okay, hunger motive and all, no one teaches the child so how hungry will be like that. So these are all what innate motives. Next, acquired motives are learned motives, which you will be learning as your life goes on. So motives can be classified as physiological or primary motives, social or secondary motives, personal motives, and unconscious motives. So with this regard to these four things we will be seeing in detail. So physiological or primary motives, social or secondary motives, personal motives, and unconscious motives. So we will see one by one. First is physiological or primary motives. What is physiological motives? They are called biological or organic motives. So because these are involved with the physiological functioning of the body. Example: hunger, sex, thirst, oxygen, need for oxygen, rest, sleep, avoid or seeking relief from pain, activity, and the elimination needs. So these physiological motives are called as biological or organic motives. These include hunger, sex, thirst, need for oxygen, rest and sleep, avoid or seek relief from pain, activity, and the elimination needs. So next we will move on to hunger motive. What is this hunger motive? Under physiological we have hunger motive. So every individual will be feeling the hunger, whether you are rich, whether you are poor, whatever may be. So hunger is one common thing. So these basic physiological needs are common for all people. So food is seen to be very dominant motive. So as I have told, if hunger comes, no, you may not be able to concentrate on anything. So if hunger motive is not adequately satisfied, because the food only gives us energy, everything, stamina, everything. So if a hunger motive is not adequately satisfied, behavior of the individual undergoes a series of changes which includes lowering of their moral. Sometimes they will get angry also if they are not getting adequate food. So when the food supply of the body has been exhausted, certain biochemical reactions will be taking place in your body. The tissues will not get adequate glucose. So our body senses the stomach to feel hungry. The stomach will be contracting, which gives you hunger pain. So you will be telling my stomach is feeling hungry. Okay, so hunger must be satisfied in order to help the body to return to its normal physiological balance. If hunger is not satisfied, homeostasis, because the basic energy itself, by satisfying this hunger drive only you are getting. So you have to satisfy this drive first. Next is your thirst motive. So without water also you cannot live up. at least with the food, without food you can live for at least 40-48 days they are telling. But without water we can survive hardly for 2 to 3 days or 4 days like that, but not more than a week. So when deprived of water over a long period of time, the individual becomes excessive restlessness and need for to intake of water. So the tissues of the body also they will be losing water, and the person will become very dehydrated. The skin will become dry, the throat, the mucous membrane, everything will be becoming dry. So the person feels like taking off water. He will be feeling the thirst motive. Next is respiratory motive. Respiratory motive, oxygen. Okay, without oxygen we cannot survive for 5 to 6 minutes also. So you have to be very cautious in this motive. So oxygen, one cannot survive for long without a regular supply of oxygen. When an individual suffers from oxygen want, his memory, because the brain is need two basic things are needed for our each cell, and that two particularly brain which needs oxygen, glucose. So without them the memory, the sensory activity, the muscular control, everything will be seriously impaired. Next, need for rest and sleep. All time we are working, our body, our mind, everything will become very much tired. So an individual needs at least 8 to 9 hours of sleep, and he needs, so always they used to tell, go to bed early and wake up early, okay, before sunrise they used to tell. But nowadays because of these electronic gadgets and all, even the childrens are also, they are waking up for very long hours, 11:30, 12. They are simply, they are watching all these electronic gadgets, they are not sleeping properly. All these are going to have an hormonal imbalances in their body, and it is going to affect their eyes, everything. Their overall health is going to get affected because of this electronic media and all. Okay, so need for rest and sleep. Adequate rest and sleep is very 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 essential in order to make the body to reboot itself, okay, to rejuvenate itself. So suppose if you are working for a long time, definitely you are going to get confusion, fatigue and discomfort. So this need also should be satisfied. If you are going to maintain all these basic needs and elimination needs and a proper exercise, you will be a healthy person. So need for elimination of waste. So when your bladder or bowels are distended, definitely you are going to have an elimination. So you have to go and empty the bladder or your bowel. So the person becomes restless until the waste materials are disposed of and the pressure is relieved. Otherwise, think that if you are filling a full bladder, so you may not be able to concentrate on any other activities, so unless and until you are going to a bathroom and you are going to empty it. So this elimination is both bowel and bladder should be satisfied. Next is sex motive. Okay, sex is a basic physiological need. So with the onset of puberty, the sex glands start functioning, and as a result of the sex drive is stimulated. Though it is a physiological drive, it is regulated by customs, because for sexual thing you have a custom, tradition, culture, religion, etc. So many taboos are associated with the satisfaction of sex drive. So this motive within certain limits you can influence. Unlike other motives like without sex we are not going to die, but it is essential for the progeny, okay, for the reproduction and for the existence of the species. So for generations to come, okay, this motive is very very essential. So this motive within certain limits influence man's behavior to a great deal. So its adequate satisfaction is also important for maintaining a normal mental health as well as physical health. So it is also considered as a biological drive, since it is dependent on various physiological conditions and mainly for the existence of the progeny in for future generations to come. This motive has to be satisfied. Okay, unlike hunger and thirst, sex is not essential for the survival. See, if we are not going to have sex, we are not going to die. But as I have told earlier, if you want to have existence of the species, you need to have this basic motive. The initial drive to sex activity comes from nervous tensions within the body set up by sex hormones like testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, like that and all, androgens and all. So its expression is subject to moral codes and civil law. So law is governing it, and moral thing, everything we have to abide when it comes to sex. We have to sublimate this sex drive by engaging ourselves with art of painting and creative writings, etc., dramatics, etc. Suppose The nurse has to recognize all these basic needs and drives in her patient. She has to remember that due to illness, many of these drives becomes weak and cure in their expression. Suppose if you are saying the hunger drive may be altered, the sexual drive may be altered, or your thirst drive may be altered. So elimination needs can be altered due to any illness in the elimination tract, okay, genitourinary system, like that. So she should provide care in such a way to satisfy all the basic needs of the patient. Next, moving on to social or secondary motives. So human beings are not only biological, man is a social animal. In sociology we used to tell man is a social animal. So therefore, human behavior is activated by social motives such as affiliation, motives, need for status, power, motives, and social approval. These motives developed through relationship with people. So we are interacting with many people. So in our day-to-day life, we cannot exist in idle. Okay, so every day we are interacting with so many people. So man is a social animal, as I have told already. So he needs some affiliation motives, attachment, need for status, need for power, social approval or recognition, everything. So these motives develop through the relationship what he is going to have with the other people. So we will see one by one. So first is affiliation motives. So in secondary or social motives, the first one is affiliation motives. So affiliation means attachment. We all love company in general with others. So pleasures of life cannot be enjoyed without company. Think that. So I scored first in exams. So if I am going to keep it to myself, I have to share this happiest moment to my friends, my family, my relatives, my teachers, like that. And so all pleasure, pain, everything has to be shared to others. So we don't like, we mostly relate to loneliness. We all like to be in the company of others. Even the simple routine activities like eating, drinking, everything, if we are sitting together and eating, and if we are sitting together and drink, everything with the company, we are going to have what, good enjoyment. So the need to be with other people is referred to as what, affiliation need. That is attachment, which can be revealed by means of friendship, sociability, or group membership. Some people will be members to some particular organization like Lions Club, Rotary Club, like that and all. So need to rely on others, which is called dependency motive, is one form of the need for affiliation. So dependency, you are depending on others, dependent, like that and all. So you are believing on others, you are depending on others. So this motive of affiliation is universally seen in all human cultures, whether you are an Indian, whether you are a foreign country people, anywhere, all over the world, people need this affiliation motive. Next is need for status. Almost all individuals have a desire to have some standing or position among the peoples of his society or group. Nobody likes to be considered inferior. So we need a status in this society. Okay, so no one likes to be inferior, everyone likes to be superior, to feel good about themselves. So a status symbol, everyone likes to have it. So that is, almost all individuals have this desire or a position or a status in the society. Next is power motive. So everyone wants to be a boss and they have to control over others, like that. So a power, they takes up the power, the desire to be in a position, to control others, to be a boss, to give orders to someone, to command, to get respect and obedience from others is called as what, power motive. Power motive directs the behavior of dictators like Hitler and all. We are telling, no, he's a good dictator, like that. Gang leaders and the builders of fraudulent financial empires also comes under this power motive. Next is social approval. Everyone needs some social approval. We try our best to avoid doing anything that may evoke social disapproval. We often show an almost compulsive tendency to conform the norms, that is rules and regulations of the society. So the society rules and regulations, the family culture norms, everything we are accepting and we are following it, because if we are going out of that, it is a social disapproval. A nurse has to remember that all these social motives are at work in the life of her patients, so colleagues, and also even the nurse also has this, all these secondary motives. His or her colleagues will be having the secondary motives, and also her colleagues, patients will be having this motive. So she has to take into consideration all these motives in her patients carefully, because some of them adopt peculiar means to satisfy them. Next is personal motives. So under personal motives, each individual is unique or different. We always used to say even our five fingers are not one and the same. So personal motives are allied with physiological needs and common social motives, but they are so much individualized, so that may vary from person to person. So you cannot tell the personal motives will be same for all the things. That's why personal means something very private. Okay, so they are our wants and aspirations, what we have to achieve, which are not shared commonly by others. So need for achievement, vocational ambitions and life goals, specific interests, habits, attitudes, levels of aspiration, curiosity and fear are our personal motives. So what are the personal motives? Need for achievement, vocational ambitions and life goals, special interests, habits and attitudes, levels of aspiration, curiosity and fear are our personal motives. We will see one by one. First is need for achievement. Achievement motivation refers to a drive towards some standard of excellence. You need to achieve something, so you need to have success in your life. People with high need of achievement prefer tasks which would promise success and are moderately difficult. So they need to achieve something, so they will take tasks which are somewhat going to provide success to them and are moderately difficult. David C. McClellan has found that while high achievers tend to succeed, low achievers tend to avoid failures. High achievers, they will be succeeding. Low achievers, they will avoid failures. High achievers challenge failures. Suppose if failure is there also, they will tell failure is a stepping stone of success. Many will be learning best from their failures. So they will work hard, while low achievers accept failure and go for less difficult tasks. High achievers prefer personal responsibility and like to get feedback about their works. So high achievers, they will get feedback about their works, and they will prefer they will take their own responsibility in order to achieving something or gaining success. Next is vocational ambitions and life goals. In the work environment, what vocational goals you are going to have. So these desires are common to many others, but there is something unique about each one's desires. Everyone will have different achievements and aspirations in their vocation point of view, that is job point of view. They are powerful determinants of our behavior. Based on our life goals, our vocational ambitions will be varying. Levels of aspiration, what you want to achieve, so implies the degree of expectation which a person has, that is how much he expects to accomplish or achieve. So we may have the same ambition or life goal, but may have different levels of aspiration. Okay, so in general, people tend to set their goals slightly higher than they are sure of attaining. For example, if you want to achieve a first class, aim for distinction, definitely you will be achieving first class. Okay, so you need to set your goal somewhat higher than what you want to achieve. Okay, so okay, sometimes don't set very high much goals also, or don't set very low goals also, which you are not able to achieve. So repeated failure may lower your level of aspiration. So for that point of view I am telling, so always set target goals which you can achieve it somewhat greater than the achievement level. So this is a healthy tendency for progress. However, there are few who set their levels of aspiration much higher or lower, which they cannot achieve, which leads to either depression, frustration, disappointment, etc. Repeated failure may lower their level of aspiration. Next, force of habit. A habit which has been formed acts as a drive and compels us to continue the accustomed ways of doing things. In other words, habit once formed persist and influence our behavior greatly. So, a habit which has been formed acts as a drive. So, it acts as a motivating force and compels us to continue the accustomed ways of doing things. So in other words, habits once formed persist and influence our behavior greatly. So this habits what we have inculcated, that also will be acting as a drive and compel us to continue the things in a properly way, in an orderly way of doing things. So interest and attitudes, you should have basic interest. So without interest, without thing, you cannot achieve anything. Similarly, attitudes also play a very important role in your motive. Next is curiosity. Curiosity means how much you are curious in order to know things. So this is a motive which is close to exploration. So you are curious, you want to explore something, you want to do something, you want to achieve something, the experience what you are going to get. So everything, how much ever curious you are, you want to learn like that and all, so which is going to add to your competency. Next is fear. Fear is a learned motive. It motivates individuals to escape from fear producing situation. Suppose if you are having fear towards a particular thing, then you will escape from it. So this fear is a learned motive, so which many times it is not good, but sometimes it is good. So fear may also interfere with the satisfaction of other motives. So the nurse should understand that personal motives are no longer common. Okay, they are our wants, they are our needs, they are our aspirations. Wants and aspirations are your personal motives, which are not shared commonly by others, because each individual will be having different personal motives. She has to put extra attention to understand the personal motives. Next, moving on to the last part, that is unconscious motives. So these unconscious motives are those which we are not aware of. They may be in the form of repressed ideas. So in our mind itself, we are having conscious mind, subconscious mind, and unconscious mind. So most of these motives will be either in the subconscious level or it will be in the unconscious level. So according to Freud, so this unconscious mind, from the unconscious mind only we will be getting all the dreams, everything comes from the unfulfilled dreams or unfulfilled wishes of an individual. So from the unconscious mind, the dreams will be coming to the conscious mind during our sleep, like that and all. So the root cause of many mental disorders also has been from the unconscious mind. That's why during hypnosis and all, they will bring whatever is in subconscious mind or unconscious mind, they will bring out all those fears. So this unconscious minds, they determine our irrational fears, phobias, eccentric likes, dislikes, our chronic headaches and gastric problems or troubles which don't have any organic causes. So that is called as psychosomatic illnesses. Okay, so because of psychological problem, you will be having some bodily signs and symptoms, but the root cause is not there. Any physical cause will not be there. And our neurosis and insanities, that is mental illnesses, so everything comes under from the unconscious mind, repressed desires or feelings. According to Freud, it is the unconscious mind that guides, directs and motivates our dreams. The root cause of mental disease is traced to the unconscious mind. So hope this video has given a detailed explanation about the definition of motives, concept of motives and different types of motives. Under types of motives, we have seen what physiological motives or primary motives, social motives or secondary motives, and personal motives, and finally the unconscious motives. If you like my video, please give a thumbs up, like and share to CZ Tech channel. My previous videos link I have given in description box, suggested end card and iCard, or you can watch our channel playlist psychology for more psychology related videos. We have posted videos with regard to 10th +1 and +2 for Tamil Nadu government syllabuses or Samachi syllabus, and we have posted for most of the nursing students, we have posted most of nursing research, statistics, etc., communication and education and technology, nursing question paper related videos, nursing foundations videos also you can watch in our channel playlist and you can get benefited. Thank you friends, keep supporting to Science Easy Tech channel.